me, she stood out in the sea of white faces. I knew from Shine that she was smitten with the art world of Soho and Chelsea and someday hoped to own a gallery of her own. In the meantime, he was letting her keep 30% of every sale that she could make downtown. Evelina loved being able to accommodate her fabulous new friends, but she wasn't always so smart about getting their money up front. This was, in fact, one of the principal reasons Shine was coming to the gallery tonight. If he was going to survive in this new territory, he told me, he was going to have to find a way to make these damn artists pay up. There he was now, standing in the doorway in his jeans, hoodie, and white high-top sneakers. He paused to scan the horizon, as any salesman would. He looked confident, tall, handsome, and completely out of place. With 3 people of color in the room, this was now officially the most integrated gathering I'd ever seen in Soho. Shine hesitated for a moment. Maybe it was a moment's doubt. I can't be sure. Then he strolled up to a clump of wrecking balls that floated in midair courtesy of invisible strings. Painted a sickly green and black, they were big enough for a large man to hide behind. I slid up next to him. Some strange stuff. Really? You think so? I rolled my eyes. He thought for a moment, looking at the huge, floating balls. I think they're cool. In the last 5 years, I had seen him nurse his bruised knuckles after a beatdown, care for a troubled relative, convince young men to take on the risks of the crack trade and everything in between. Few things he could do would surprise me. But this surprised me. Was he putting me on? Really? You think that thing is cool? He nodded. Could be a disease. Or just some soap bubbles. You know, like the kind you used to blow when you were a little kid. Smiling, he warmed to the idea. It could make you happy, or it could kill you. Yeah, that shit's cool. This dude gets it. I felt a little bit annoyed. The big Harlem drug kingpin also had to be the master of this alien place? But I stifled the feeling. I had been at Shine's side when he began to make his first forays out of Harlem, down to the bars of Wall Street and Soho. I knew how much courage it took, how much careful, strategic analysis, how much vision. I had known a lot of drug dealers, and none had ever been so eager to cross boundaries. If you looked at it in a certain way, Shine was an ambitious young American chasing a dream and fighting hard to overcome a mountain of obstacles. Instead of being annoyed, I should have been making notes about his adaptive genius. Shine was not the only urban explorer I was watching, however. From various perches in the underground economy and among the wealthy young, I could see the forces of globalization and urban development transforming every New York neighborhood. In Hell's Kitchen, Rudy Giuliani's ambitious cleanup had brought in tourist dollars and whirlwind gentrification. In Midtown, multinational corporations were building new headquarters. On Wall Street, the financial services sector was booming with an energy that seemed almost manic. All over the city, middle and upper class people were beginning a historic migration back from the suburbs. All of this was visible to the naked eye and much celebrated in the media. But people in the underground were on the move too. And these equally enormous changes seemed to be happening without comment or notice. The waves of gentrification sent thousands of underclass strivers in search of their own new markets and new places to work. From South Asian porn store managers and Nigerian taxi drivers in Hell's Kitchen, to ambitious Latina street prostitutes on the Lower East Side and even high-end call girls on the Upper East Side, the rapid change roiling this global city was creating new winners and new losers as far as the eye could see. The turbulence hinted of the economic bubble and crash to come, but much of it seemed hard to pin down. The vast invisible continent of America's subterranean economy was shifting in a way that seemed to portend some great change, and the outcome was anybody's guess. In this context, Shine's encounter with modern art felt like a sign. I was no longer in a Midwestern city where boundaries and borders of both social groups and neighborhoods were durable, unlikely to change no matter what forces threatened them. Chicago celebrated itself for being a city of neighborhoods, which meant that it was also a place of systematic social and racial segregation. This had good points and bad points. Everyone had their hood, and people took pride in both protecting their turf and becoming involved. Even the underground economy was local. Whether it was for babysitting, drugs, or a loan, most people in Chicago did their under-the-table deals with neighbors. It was almost inconceivable for one of my ghetto crews to cross paths with my economic peers in Hyde Park or the University of Chicago. A popular local catchphrase said it all. Don't make no waves, don't back no losers. I had assumed that was how all cities worked.